Hello and greetings. It is just over 2 weeks till the Empowered Women's Book Club starts on the 11th of June. That's a Tuesday, and that's at the Freemasons Pub. Freemasons Pub in Hove upstairs. And this is the book that we're looking at, Women Who Love Sex, by Dr. Gina Ogden, and she is amazing. Unfortunately, she died last year, but she really is an amazing sexual researcher and pioneer. And I want to read you something. I've been reading, because you need to read chapter 1 before you come along. Preferably, you can come along anyway. But basically, I've just been reading in preparation, and something that really struck me as to why I really wanted to get the Empowered Women's Book Club up and running. So Gina has written here, while there is an increasing encouragement for women to say no to abuse and violence, there is still no broad-based encouragement for us to say yes to pleasure. And this is such a massive thing that's out there in the world and that's prevalent today. Is how are we stepping up to allow ourselves to say yes to pleasure? There is still so much shaming out there. And it's great that we're focusing on things like the Me Too movement and, violence against women and the anti-abortion laws that are going off all over the place at the moment. But I always like to try and focus on the other end of the spectrum, which is actually if we really look at our engagement with our own bodies and our own pleasure, then the things at that end of the spectrum just, will be able to be fixed so much easier if we as a society are allowing women to be easier with their pleasure. And it starts with women. And the reason I started this group is because so many women come to me for tantra work or sex coaching, and they ask me to recommend them books. And I say, yeah, I can recommend you books, but it's not only about reading books. You need to be doing the practices. So I'm holding this group so that we can read through amazing books such as this one, and then I will be setting exercises and homework through the course, so you'll be able to have a supported group of women to work with and hang out with, but also have a sex coach and tantra practitioner on hand ready for any group facilitation and any coaching that is needed, but also having exercises that you can then journal along the way and share as much or as little as you want about your experience, because this really is where sexual self-development flourishes, is in a supported environment with a coach or a mentor, surrounded by other people who are in that same place of no judgment and self-acceptance, and doing the practices, not just reading about them, actually putting things into practice over a longer period of time, so that we can really start setting healthy habits in our minds, in our hearts, in our sex, in our guts, to let us know that pleasure is okay. And this book really is beautiful. You can get it for quite cheap off Amazon if you want. And yes, the idea is that each week we will be discussing a chapter. So there's 2 weeks, every 2 weeks-ish. Every 2 weeks-ish is the meeting of the book club, and it's a drop-in price of £10 per session, and we're going to be working through this book. And again, it's really casual, so if you haven't read that chapter that week, come along anyway, because you will still be learning and still be held in the space from everyone else having the discussions. So do let me know if you're going to be coming along, and yes, drop me a message if you're interested and I can forward you some more information. Mwah. Lots of love, and get reading. It's beautiful. Bye-bye.